Indian economic rise has stunned the world. Once again, the International Monetary Fund has declared that India's growth will far outpace China and the USA. Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, New Delhi has topped the list of the fastest growing large economies in the world, which sees America slip down to 7th spot, while major players like the UK, Germany and Canada have slipped out of the top 10 list completely. IMF foresees India topping the world rankings with a growth rate of 7%, racing towards its goal of becoming the third biggest global economy by 2027. Prime Minister's office hailed the achievement, with PMO sharing the headline on Platform X. Somewhat surprisingly, China maintained its second spot in the IMF rankings. Despite China's economic slowdown, Beijing is maintaining a growth rate of 5% in 2024, which will dip to 4.5% in 2025. Indonesia is above some global heavyweights in third spot. The world's 16th largest economy will maintain a growth rate of 5% over the next couple of years. The world's 18th largest economy, Turkey, is in fourth spot in the list with a moderate growth rate of 3.6%, which will decrease to 2.7% next year. Now, what's really surprising is that despite the war in Ukraine and sanctions by the West, Russia is the fifth fastest growing major economy in the world with a growth rate of 3.2%. The news would definitely please President Putin. Poland is the fastest growing European nation at 6th position in the global list. The 21st largest economy is gaining pace with 3.1% and 3.5% growth rate over the next 2 years. The world's biggest economy, the United States, is also growing, although at a snail's pace. America's 2.4% growth rate in 2024 will dip to 1.9% next year. South Korea is in 8th spot with 2.5%, Spain is in 9th with 2.4%, while Mexico completes the top 10 with a growth rate of 2.2%. So let's figure out what's igniting India's rapid economic rise, what steps is Prime Minister Modi and his government taking to maintain this momentum, as the world's fifth largest economy is poised to climb up to the third spot within the next 3 years. Showing explosive growth rate over the last decade, the Indian economy has surged from just 10 billion in 2014 to over 130 billion in 2024, and projections are up to 300 billion by 2030. The IMF data coincides with the Reserve Bank of India projections, which say that GDP growth for 2024-25 will touch 7.1 or 7.2%. An eco-rap published by the State Bank of India research acknowledged that the latest projections and hailed India's achievement in coming out victorious on the economic front, even at a time when India is faced with challenges like supply chain blockages, rising global freight, semiconductor shortages, and container costing. The factors driving this growth, as mentioned by the World Bank, can be attributed to the service and the industrial sectors, which have offset a slowdown in agricultural production caused by monsoon disruptions last year. This year's monsoons, however, are expected to be prolonged and may threaten certain crops. Infosys CEO Salil Parekh lauded India's growth trajectory, which has set it apart from the rest of the world, saying, quote, "In India, we had in Q1 very strong growth in Indian business. It is quite small, but still we are looking carefully at which areas we can most contribute in with the private sector and with the government," unquote. As the world watches its carbon footprint, India is massively pushing for bioeconomy, another sector that the government claims has the potential to take India to greater heights. Union Minister Jitendra Singh announced that the Modi government's recently unveiled Bio-E3 policy, or biotechnology for economy, employment and environment, is poised to promote India as a global biotech powerhouse, aimed to significantly contribute to the Make in India initiative and accelerate the momentum of economic growth. The Bio-E3 policy is set to make a shift from chemical-based industries to sustainable bio-based models with minimal carbon footprints. Meanwhile, free trade agreements with foreign allies also enhance bilateral trade and in turn boost FDI or foreign direct investment in India. India and Oman are also in advanced stages of signing an FTA. Indian ambassador to Oman, Amit Naran, confirmed the news on the 27th of August that the pact will eliminate duties on petroleum, textiles, pharmaceuticals, machinery and electronics. The comprehensive agreement is also aimed to bring direct shipping links to cut down costs between India and Oman, countries that share bilateral trade worth $8 billion. India is also looking at extending political and economic engagement with the Gulf Cooperation Council comprising of Arab countries, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Meanwhile, India-UK free trade agreement talks are in advanced stage and expected to be finalized soon, while a similar FTA between India and European Union is also on the cards. But the big question remains, will all these initiatives by the Modi government help bring down India's trade imbalance with China? Leave a comment with your opinion and remember to like and subscribe to Inconnect News.